Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today's video is a back to school survival guide. Let's get on with the video. Right, so these are my tips, tricks, whatever you like to call them, on how to survive going back to school. Be it going up into secondary school or college or university. So, number one is going with an open mind. So, when I went into secondary school, I went in, I wouldn't say expecting the worst, but I was prepared for it to be a lot different. And I just assumed it would be extremely different because that's what I was always told. And looking back at it, that was a good thing. It prepared me for a lot of problems I had to deal with in secondary school. But then when I treated college the same way I treated secondary school, expecting it to be awful, it didn't go as well. Yes, I struggled with like making a friendship group in my class, but I made friends with people who are in different classes and different like courses, which was kind of taboo in my college. Like on my campus, everybody just stuck with their own like course group, and that was that. Like you hung out with whoever was doing the business course or whoever was doing the health and social care course, things like that. But I didn't. I was that one business student hanging out with all the media kids. But honestly, I loved it, and I've made a few lasting friendships from college. But I wouldn't say like college was the best thing for me. It was a lot better than secondary school, but I'd say uni was the best, because when I went in with an open mind for my uni course, because it's a night course, I was like, okay, this is going to be a smaller class, I may not get on with everybody, but it's okay, I don't have to force myself to be who I'm not. Like, it's only 3 hours of 3 to 4.5 hours a week. It can't be that bad as long as I'm positive. And honestly, I went in, the first few weeks were a bit iffy. That's all I can really say. But once I settled in, I really relaxed, and honestly, it has been one of the best years of my life. And unlike you guys, I still have classes till August. Till the middle of August, and then I finish for the year. So ironically, I'm starting my back to school videos now at the end of July, because I think a lot of people this year are going to be panicking going up to secondary and college and uni, because it has been a very hectic year for everybody. So I thought my little survival guide would help you all out there. And obviously, you've just got to be open-minded, and don't worry about fitting in. Okay, this is my biggest issue with my niece. You don't have to try to fit in with everybody, because you're not going to be the same as everybody else. And that is a big tip in school. Don't try to fit in, don't try to be like everybody else. Be yourself. Yes, you may not be the most popular person if you're yourself, but you're going to have the most real friends you can have. I went through a phase where I just tried fitting in. I kind of stopped acting the way I act. Like Sanya will tell you, I'm a very playful person. I'm very chipper, as you guys can probably tell. I do weird things like weird accents, I have a habit of going Nika Nika nee. Like that I use to make like my younger cousins laugh if they're upset, things like that. And honestly, I do act my age. I am very mature for my age even. But when I'm with people, I just am playful. I will act myself. And when I went through that period of not acting myself in secondary school, it was tough. I ended up doing, what's it called, study leave in my last year of school because of that. It just got too rough because I couldn't even go into school with a smile anymore, and most of my teachers will tell you I always smile. So don't worry about fitting in, because no one's going to fit in 100%, and the best person you can be is yourself. So that is a main tip for you guys. Moving on to my next tip is make sure you have what you need. Nothing more, nothing less. So I overpacked my school bag for 3-4 years and it hurt my back so bad. I didn't get a locker because I thought, oh, it's easier, I live less than 5 minutes from my school, that's fine. No. If you've got a locker, great, but it's still not necessary. So my friend actually managed to forget her school bag a bunch of times going into school. So if you have a locker, I suggest you put your pencil case, and if you have a school planner, a planner or a notepad, just spare necessities in there just in case you forget your bag like her. But if you're not one to forget things like me, I just had my pencil case with 3 or 4 pens and pencils, calculator and all the other like math stuff you needed. A notepad, but we had like school workbooks, so I didn't really need the notepad, but I just took it just in case. I took my planner and I took my lunch and a drink, and that was it. Like, that is all you need. You don't need a first aid kit, which I used to keep in my bag. Admittedly, I still have basic first aid stuff in my bag at all times because I'm a very clumsy person and quite a few of my friends are too. So I just find it easier to. But I would take the bare necessities like a couple plasters, some antiseptic wipes, hand sanitizer, and that's about it. That is all you need. Obviously if you're a girl, take your girl products. I used to have that at the bottom of my bag in a little like makeup bag kind of thing that I got for Christmas one year from my aunt, even though I don't like makeup. She got me this weird bag set. So what I done was put that little makeup bag into my normal bag and put all my girl stuff in, because I found it's more discreet. Also, if you ever have a bag check, we had that a few times, they won't look inside that bag because they know it's most likely like girl stuff, and also it's better than leaving them lying around, so if you do have a bag check, all the boys see it. And it's always great in case like another girl forgets, like, oh yeah, here you go. Or if you forget you're starting, you've got it there. Other tips and tricks. I say try to be friends with not everyone and anyone, but like be open to being friends. Like communicate with everyone and anyone. Be an open talker. So don't just sit there and only talk to your friends. I'd say talk to everybody. Like, you don't have to be friends with everybody, but at least try and communicate with everyone, because sometimes that helps a lot. Like, probably year 10 and 11 I started to talk to everybody and anyone in my class. Like, I talked to my friends the most, but if I was sat next to someone I would happily talk to them and I wouldn't worry. and I relaxed quite a bit, and they all like found it easier to talk to me, and I noticed like it really like brought up your spirits, because it's like sometimes I'd come in for like super learning, which is basically a big study session for your whole class, whilst you're on study leave if you take it, other than if you're in class, like you still go to it. And sometimes I'd come in and honestly like some of the girls I'd rarely talk to all year would come in and compliment me or check if I was okay, and that was all because I became more open and I found I talked to them more, I checked on them more, and honestly I loved that wide but like nice friendship like you had with them. Unfortunately I don't talk to many of them today, but it was nice to just have those people you could just randomly go to and talk to if like your friends were ill and whatnot. And I struggled in college with that because I didn't do that, and I ended up picking the 2 quiet boys and forcing them to talk to me all year round. But I brought them out their shell, I would say, and they will admit it too. But yeah, so it's like if you talk to everybody and anybody, you build quite a wide like friendship unit, like they'll support you and whatnot. Like sometimes I found one time when I was being picked on in secondary school, people that I only talked to occasionally but I'd gone to primary school with actually stood up for me, and I'm grateful for that. So just remember, you can talk to everybody. It doesn't matter what one person says, like, oh, this person's really horrible, you shouldn't talk to them, blah blah blah. Make that judgment for yourself, and don't judge people by what they look like or what they do. Like I may wear baggy clothes, but you can't judge me for that. Like, so what? Like, or I may skateboard. I can't skateboard because I haven't got any balance, but if I skateboard, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm an idiot or anything. It just means I like to skateboard. And my biggest tip is never worry about peer pressure, because if people are trying to peer pressure you into things, they aren't real friends. Like the Are Your Friends Real or Fake video that I done the other day. I don't know when this is published after it, sorry guys. I think this will be the first or the second video after it, so you may have to look back a video or two, but it will be there. Because real friends don't pressure you into anything. They may pressure you into participating in sports and things, but they won't pressure you into anything negative. And if you're going through a tough time, feel free to talk to teachers or the people that they provide at schools, because sometimes they are useless, but some teachers are very helpful and will support you no matter what. And I am grateful for some of those teachers. But just remember, you are not alone in secondary school or in college or in uni. Everybody's going through the same thing. I found when I went into college, I struggled a lot with the making friends. So I went and spoke to people I knew in the year above me. You can do that in uni, you can do that in secondary school. Go talk to the people who are a year or so above you. They'll know what you're going through, and they'll probably have great ways of how to work on it. Like, they'll probably tell you about clubs you can join. I know that I didn't actually know there was a choir club in my secondary school till I was actually told by one of my older friends who actually was in that choir club, and it actually led me to join it for 2 years. But obviously, like, joining clubs is a great way of making friends, but sometimes you don't know the clubs are there. And so if you talk to the older kids, they normally will just sit there and they'll happily listen to you go, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know my way to my class. I don't know how to make friends, all this, that and the other. And they have gone through it. No one doesn't go through it. So they will happily tell you what they found easiest, or they'll give you some ideas like, join this club, loads of new year, first year, whatever students start it. Or if you try this one, they work on building friendships and things like that. Or you can join like lunchtime sports and things like that. And normally the older students know all about these, because sometimes they aren't publicised in the schools. So please, please, please be open to trying something new. Be it baking, like a baking class, or a sports session, anything. It's a great way to make friends. Those are my tips and tricks on how to survive secondary school. There will probably be secondary school, uni, or whatever. There'll probably be a second part to this on making friends, because I think that's a key issue when going up. But my last thing to you all is, remember, homework needs to be done. Just do it the night you get it set. It's so much easier, and it gives you more time to spend on yourself, on your own, and hanging out with your friends. I'll catch you guys later. Bye!